Hey guys, thanks for dropping by. I'm odstaustin, and I just want to say welcome to my first ever, well actually it'll be my only ever, Draw My Life video. I just want to say a few things before we get into this. You guys are gonna have to forgive me for my stick figure drawings and how long it's taking to get out with this. I'm super sorry, but hopefully now it's out. We'll all be forgiving and everything. But anyways, hope you enjoy. My life is kind of boring, but it gets pretty cool. Anyways, it'll be cool to see what you guys think. And welcome to Draw My Life. Thanks for watching. Well, let's start off with obviously the basic one, me being born, and the year was 1999, November 27th at 1:49 a.m. So you could imagine that, and that's where the 149 comes from, because it was 1:49. Yeah, so I accidentally wrote 9:49 p.m. because that was the time I arrived at the hospital, but it was actually 1:49 a.m. that I was actually born. Because I did not want to come out, but luckily I held in there for my grandma. But I always remember the building that it was at. It was always like a circular building with all the windows. It was a pretty cool building, I will admit. I really liked, because every time we drive by the highway or anything, we'd see it. But anyways, that's just where I was born. Let's get into some stuff after that. Well, after I was born, after I was born, I came back from the hospital to my first ever house, obviously. And that house, well, not my first ever house, but my parents' our house, which we called the Continental Home. I don't know why till this day it was called that, but whatever, floats my boat. But when I was there, my parents always told me we had these Lincoln Logs when my dad was a kid. That I just love to build things up and be like the superior, like person. Every time someone else built a tower, I'd knock it over. And so that's basically what I would do. And they always said I loved on the dark, rainy days I go outside. I could kind of see that because I mean Arizona. I would lives in Arizona, and I never got any rain or dark, cloudy days whatsoever. So I guess it would make sense why I liked it. But it's that all these obsessive definitely stuck in me till this day. Now, the farthest memory I would ever have going back to a certain date of my age would be about 3 years old. And, I mean, obviously I had other memories, I think, but I'm not positive. But my for sure one that my parents can justify just because it was so big. I was about 3 years old, 2 days after I could start walking, and my parents on their desk where they have the computer. My cat was up there. I crawled up there through the chairs, and there was a pair of holding scissors. And this is a horrible, horrible cat. It looks like a mouse, but either way, I've got a hold of scissors and I basically cut my cat's ear off. Now the cat didn't die nor get hurt. It was just sort of cut. Then it didn't bleed blood, but you could see the blood inside the ear and flop on the floor. So my cat did not have an ear. Nor that it was just the earlobe, so it could still hear out of that ear. My parents were like, "Oh my god, what happened to the ear?" And I was like, "Ah," started crying. But that was just the farthest memory I had ever had back going. Now, obviously, I had a family, and my family was, well, there was my dad and my mom, and me, my mom, Stephanie, my dad, Russell, my stepbrother, Josh, and then me, Austin, and then my little brother, Jacob. That was basically my whole family, and we were pretty standard. I don't know if standard, but that was just my family. Now, growing up in about first grade was when I became most obsessed with this. I would play with Pokemon, the game on the Game Boy. Oh, I forgot the name of the stuff for that though, but whatever. And I collected every Pokemon card. I was like the biggest Pokemon fan when I was a kid. I ditched it because some people at I don't know, just some people were like, you play Pokemon? I was like, yeah! And they were like, that's so dumb. And then over the years, I'm like, yeah, it is kind of dumb. So I quit, and I do think Pokemon is pretty stupid now. So that's basically what I played when I was a kid, was Pokemon. And when I was 5, I had this, how do I put it, the little bicycle truck thing. I was riding it down the road, or not riding it down the road. My dad fell asleep on the couch when he was supposed to watch. My mom went out to work. I got my little bike thing. The door was wide open. My dad left it from on a walk with my dog, and I got on it and just pedaled on the bike. And our house was like 2 miles away from the lake that was nearby. So I biked, or it's like one of those, like how the Flintstones had, like put your feet on the floor. So that's what I had to do for 2 miles. I got to the lake, and the police had to come find me and everything, and I could have been dead for all they knew, but I wasn't, luckily, so there's that. When I was 7 years old, I was in first grade at a straight mountain elementary school, correct? It was K through 8, and well, basically, it wasn't a horrible school. I just wasn't the nicest kid at the time. I mean, I was okay. I was actually really nice. I mean, it taught me a lot, but I would always get into a lot of trouble being really a bad kid and whatnot. So, me and my best friend, and then his cousin, it was his first day on the school, and we were in the playground for recess, and there's the slides and all that stuff, and they were tossing rocks back and forth, and I asked them, hey, could I join in with you guys? It was first day because I felt bad that he was in there, and they said, sure, you could join in. And I grabbed the rock and chucked it high up in the air. That's where my good dodgeball arm comes from. Came down, he couldn't catch it, boom, splat his whole head open, and I didn't get in trouble at all. Luckily, yeah, so there was that. So one time in first grade too, it was recess. It was actually after recess. It was time for the 8th graders, which is what grade I'm in now. So you can see it's 7 years later, and I still remember this. But they came out for their recess. Me and my friend Nick just stayed behind and went like that. And in Arizona, they didn't have much rain, but when they did, all the rain directed at school, like all the tunnels they had to dig, not tunnels, but like the mounts they had to dig, all went down to the school. And they had a little meltdown, and we were small enough at the time, especially me. I was like 1 foot, like 5. We just ran out of there, and then the teacher saw us and ran out of us. I came out of there, and then Nick ran off the school, and they had to go grab him and all that stuff. It was pretty funny. And then we went to there. Supposedly I got attention, but my parents never found out, which is weird because they would have to pick me up. But so that remains unsolved, which is quite awkward and weird. I will always remember the time that I wanted that I did basketball. It was the funniest thing. All people's knees were always at my head and everything, and I would always go underneath their legs. My mom has video of it too. Me going underneath my legs, or their legs, grabbing the ball and just shooting it. You know what I mean? It was the funniest thing I've ever seen. But it was all cool because I got a really, really big trophy, the good thing. And they all voted to put me in the top because I was really tiny, and they put me in the top. So that was a cool thing to do. I really enjoyed that trophy. On the note of, well, first of all, let me say this. When I was in 3rd grade, I started playing soccer for the first time, really hardcore. I started in kindergarten, I think, but I didn't play hardcore and get as good as I am now until like 3rd grade. And anyways, besides that, but that's where I started playing soccer, which is where my main sport I play now. But that also reminds me I had my best friend Alduapo at the time. He would always come over. We'd have these like Transformer Death Stars, and we'd always fight each other. And one time we were on the trampoline bouncing, and his fell off, and he got mad. And you know how Mexican? I mean, he was Mexican. Blah, 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 blah. He took mine, and down and went on the rocks too in Arizona. So both lost another like $200. So yeah. I would always play Legos with them as well, and that was basically all of 3rd grade. So I was moving on to 4th grade now. That's where a lot are major, and I started meeting a lot of friends, and the majority of my life moves on. It was the beginning of 4th grade, just like how you'd have those parent-teacher conferences, like the practice day of school. That's what it was, and I went to school with my 2 best friends, Brennan and Nick, and they were telling me, we were looking at the seats where everyone was going to go, and they saw Merrick, and they told me how he's his best friend and all this crap and all that. I was like, I'm thinking in my mind, he's going to steal my friends. And then as 4th grade went on, they started hanging out a lot too because they didn't see each other for years. I'm like, I always hated that kid. And then I met a new friend, which aka is Merrick 0039, in case you didn't know by now. And obviously we're very, way good friends now. So that's a good thing there. But all those times they were with each other, I met a new kid named Tony, which is Wolverine 616. We had everything in common. We played Halo, we knew games, we liked to skateboard. And there was just like basically everything in common with us. Even our names. His real name was Anthony, mine's Austin. He has 2 siblings, I have 2 siblings. His mom's name is Susan, my mom's name is Stephanie, his dad's name is Richie. My dad's name is Russell, and we both have 2 small dogs. And that was pretty cool. And that's how we met each other, and it was just incredible to meet him. Yeah. Now, I was going to school one morning, just like I would always do for 4th grade. I was going to school one morning with my little brother Jacob, And as we were riding to school, we just normally take our bikes and run. But as soon as we opened the garage door, my mom was just gonna like drive off to work. She would wish us goodbye and drive off to work while we bike to school. I get on my bike just as I take one pedal step. Boom! It was just like a nuke went off or something, because it was pretty loud. My mom thought it was a gunshot, and there were people like dressed in black suits on the start. We thought that because Arizona, you know, was close where we live, was close to border, so we thought it was Mexican terrorists come by shooting down the streets, because you could hear glass and doors breaking. My mom rushed us inside. We called our dad and everything. We were freaked out. My mom was like, we gotta get in the tub, get in the bathtub and hide. And I thought, no. And then when I saw her cry, I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna die. So I started crying, and my little brother, this was hilarious. He was like, because we had to leave our bikes out there because we run into, it's like, my bike is outside. I'm like, Jacob, shut up, we're gonna die. Oh, it was pretty hilarious. We eventually found out, though, it was the friends. I had this friend that I didn't like because he was rude and mean and everything. He moved out, and that week that came, there was huge SWAT trucks and everything. That's what it was, not Mexican terrorists. They came over and they had TNT on the door and blew the door up into the house. It damaged all over the house, and the people were drug dealers. The kid moved out with his dad, which had he was living with those teenagers, and they were all drug dealers. And the police have been hunting them down for years, and they finally found them. And they did that operation that morning and got them under their custody. So it was pretty scary. That was probably the most thing I've seen with terrorists and drug dealers. So yeah. On the note of a lockdown, by the way, our school had a lockdown through that incident. There was this one lockdown that scarred me for life. So it was just a normal 4th grade class day. Everything happened in 4th grade. What was so many things happened in 4th grade. Anyways, it was a normal 4th grade day, and they went on the announcements and said, this is not a drill lockdown. This is a hard lockdown. And this guy I never heard before. Some random guy, I believe, just sending them that said there are 4 gunmen with automatic weapons pulling them out of a Jeep and climbing over the fences to shoot and kill on sight all of us. We need you to get down immediately and hide. And my teacher didn't know what else, so she instantly rushed us in the lockdown position. She started crying. She didn't know what was even going on, and she went to check her desk, and there was no emails with it. Everything was, the Wi-Fi was down, and she thought this was going to be the end. And me being in 4th grade, I sat by this really chubby kid, Grant, my friend Grant. I was like, Grant, you gotta block me the bullets if they come. And he's like, alright, I got this, Austin. I'm strong. And there actually was gunmen as well. Yeah, my friend Devin and Lucas were outside in the bathroom stall, and they thought they were going to die. And they were pretty smart. They stood on the toilet, so if they looked under there, they wouldn't see him or anything. So they were quite smart to do this. But boy, was it scary. And we found out, they said after like 3 hours, they said the drill is over and we'll see you guys later. And there was no envelope home. My parents still know on it today. So many unsolved mysteries that I would like, when I go back to visit Arizona in a few weeks, I'm gonna find out. And after all of these incidents that happened in 4th grade, my parents sat down and had a talk and said, what if we moved to Chicago, Illinois? And I was like, no, I have way more friends and better life here than I do anywhere. And that night that happened, I woke up that morning, and our next door neighbor, she was actually a girl named Tony, a really old lady that really loved me and my little brother, and said she wanted to take us out for our birthdays, even though it was like 6 months late. And so we did, and we were driving, and exactly that night, we were driving down, there was just things that cut the trees. It was one of those vans that have like an elevated thing, and then you cut the trees with them. In my mind, I closed my eyes, imagined what was going to happen. I imagined us crashing and getting in a huge car accident. Open my eyes, ring, we get into a car accident. I don't know if it's telekinesis or whatever it is, but I imagined it, and no one can tell me I didn't, because I know I did. And it's pretty funny. So we'd have my older brother come pick me up and all that. And this all happened in 4th grade. Pretty close, I think all in the same month, I believe. Also, 2 weeks after that event too, I didn't get hurt at all from that car crash, surprisingly. After 2 weeks after that event though, I went to the park with my friend Altawapa, and a car came running by us, about to hit us, and I ran with my hands in my yellow jacket, and I tripped over the concrete, and got the biggest scar on my face. Like, literally, it was a face scar from the head to my chin, blood everywhere. So we had to run up to the house closest, which happened to my friend Garrett, and his dad was a cop, and he helped us, and my parents were coming to pick me up right at that time too. So they took us home, and they took me to the hospital. We had like bags and towels of blood and blood. It was pretty horrible. Luckily, I lived. I mean, obviously, I still be alive. I don't know why I wouldn't be alive, but yeah. Also in fourth grade, I wasn't always the nicest kid around. Me and my friend Garrett, the same one that saved me from that, found a spray can, and he was in, I think, 7th grade at the time, and I was in 4th grade. He said, what if we go vandalize the spray can? I was like, me before that, I was like, oh, blue, because it was blue. He's like, it's blue. I was like, oh, blue, let's do it. And then we did it, and we'd go paint the person's walls and apologize. How my mom found out, actually, so I accidentally spray painted something, got on my finger, and I wiped it on my knee. My mom was like, what's that? And then I was like, don't you lie to me, and I explained it, and then yeah. Now, it was the time for everything. When my dad got a promotion, and it was time for us, my parents said we're moving to Chicago, and I was like, no, and I just think about it, all my friends are becoming cool now. That's what happened, we had to move. And it was 5th grade now, and I would always get bullied because I was just a new kid, and I was never really liked there, I guess. And I always hated it. I always said I wanted to move back. My little brother, who was at the time was in 3rd grade, so he was just starting out like how I was. He's making loads of friends, and I never made any. So now I moved on, and I went to middle school, which was 6th through 8th grade, which is where I'm at now, or at the time of watching this, when it was thoroughly uploaded. But I went to 8th grade. I went to 6th grade. And I took over the summertime or in the springtime. I took a visit back to Arizona for the first time, and I never talked to Tony Merrick since then. I got to reconnect with them. We met again, gave each other our phone numbers and all that again, because that time when I was 4th grade, we didn't have phone numbers back in my day. But now we did, and we connected. It was the best time of my life. It really was. Now, over that time when I came back, I was playing on my Xbox with Tony Merrick right around my birthday, I believe. Oh, no, it was around August, actually, I believe. And they told me about, Tony Merrick told me about Tony's YouTube channel and his YouTube channel. I was like, well, you could post on YouTube? I thought it was only for professionals. And then I was like, I really want to do this. And you can see that's where my inspiration came from, was my best friends. And I was like, I really want to do this. And that's what I did. And so I started making YouTube videos. My competition was to beat Tony. He was at like 23 subscribers. I was at like 12. I was like, I'm going to beat him someday. He's so popular. He's got like 5,000 views and 23 subs. It was pretty cool. Then eventually I got to 100. I beat him. I remember when I was at the same views, but he had more views than me. Eventually I beat him in views. I released a trolling video on my channel, which got 10,000 views in the month it was uploaded. And my channel skyrocketed from there to 200 subscribers, beating him to like 43 subscribers to like 216. It was probably the greatest day of my life. Well, not really, but YouTube-wise. But when me, Tony Merrick, and my new best friend named Michael, aka Volt54811, Merrick.139, Wolverine6XD, and Meody6 is what we actually started getting known as on YouTube for, went on our server s1.zullycraft.in, and we did all of ours first ever collab video, basically. And it was on Hunger Games, so if you want to go look at that official video, if I remember in time, I can put a link there. But our official video we all did together was Hunger Games, and it was just one of the funnest things we ever had. We thought we should do this more often. That's when Tony Merrick met Michael, and we all became really cool friends after then. Yeah. Now, after all those years came on, we come to 8th grade, where I started out. I finally made a lot of friends now. People are actually liking me. I was considered cool now. Everyone knew I did YouTube. They didn't make fun of me because of that anymore. I was just getting really happy, and I was talking to American Tony more often and doing YouTube and actually starting to get good. And look where I am now. I'm doing this Draw My Life video for you guys for 500 subscribers, unless this is in the future and I have 1,000,000 or wherever I'm at now. Whatever at this point is made for 500 subscribers. And I wouldn't, you guys make the dream for me, and it's basically nothing else I could have asked for. And who knows what the future has in store for me. I'm open for anything. I plan to major in college. Not to major in college, even though I go to high school next year, but I plan to major in college for computer science and building my own computer. And I am ordering my new computer tomorrow, actually. And at the time of recording this. And it'll be really nice to make videos for you guys in the future and just see what the future in store for me. And I can't wait to go for you guys, make more videos for you guys. I don't keep saying you guys because you dudes are just the best, the drop squad. And I really want you guys to know that. And if you enjoyed this Draw My Life video, you found anything part, and obviously there's a few things I can't remember from my life that are important, but I'll remember, like, oh wait, I can't edit the video, darn it, because I already made it. And there'll be some parts a little glitchy because I was in a hurry to edit this for you guys super fast. Spent 3 days straight trying to edit this. And yeah, I finally finished for you guys. Hope you enjoyed, and the video is gonna be great. And please share it to your friends. And if you found any part sad or any part happy or any part that inspired you or whatever, please tell me. And if you guys know me personally or you've been watching me and I've said stuff, comment parts you thought should have been in there or anything. And I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching. Peace out. Don't forget to click that subscribe button for videos.